I'm just going to go through some statistics for the Irish Catholic Church here in Ireland from 2018 to 2022. The source is the Irish Catholic Directory. This is a directory published by the Irish Bishops' Conference every year, and has everything that you need to know, or contact details for the Irish Church. So I'm just going to go through some of the statistics that they've published over the last number of years, which people might find interesting, and it shows us what direction we're going in as a church. Just something to note when it comes to statistics over the last 5 years, there's a page in there that hasn't changed. The Catholic Church personnel, it's been quoting 2012 data since God knows how long. As regards vocations, they're quoting 2006 data. So I think it's a little bit outdated. Especially when you see sisters, the data for sisters and orders. I mean, that's completely different to the next page on this directory. Anyway, if the data, I don't see the point in publishing something like that. It means absolutely nothing to anybody to publish data from 2006. Why bother? It's 2022. Waste of paper, waste of space, in my opinion. As regards marriages and getting annulment, well, we just have to look at 2020, which is the last data that we have there. There was 16 decrees issued in Ireland, which I find. I don't know what happened in Ireland from 2017 to 2018. I mean, 2018 was the year we had the abortion referendum. We've also had Amoris Laetitia and so forth. Are we just now not bothering to annul marriages anymore? Are people not applying? I mean, we all know that most people have children outside of marriage today anyway, and maybe people have just given up on marriage and at the same time given up even asking for a church marriage to be annulled. So it's just interesting to see these statistics. It seems like we don't bother. There's no real need for a marriage to be annulled anymore, comparing these figures. Anyway, just interesting statistics there. Here are more statistics that I've collated from 2018 to 2022. So as regards Catholic population, it has decreased by 1% according to the statistics published in the Irish Catholic Directory. How valid these statistics are, I have no idea, but these are the data that we've been given to look at. As far as parishes go, over the last 5 years, 5 parishes have disappeared in Ireland. So we've gone from 1,660 down to 1,355. No real change. Chapels, we've gone from 2,652 to 2,649. No real change. Primary school attendance, primary schools, we've gone down 3% from 3,315 to 3,215. That's 100. We've no real change in secondary schools. I find it a bit bizarre that we went to 707 and then down to 700. Who knows? Maybe it was some of the private Catholic schools that closed. Children in primary Catholic schools have gone up 2% over the last 5 years, and children in secondary schools have gone up 5% over the last 2 years. Priests in active ministry have gone up 12% over the last 5 years. We've gone from 1,848 to 2,077 active priests, which is, it's great to see. Priests, others that have retired and so forth, have gone down 19%. Priests and religious orders not active in the diocese have gone down 26%. Brothers have down 17%. Sisters down 19%. And ordinations are down 53%. So those are just some of the statistics that were published. So as regards active priests in the population, according to the Irish Catholic Directory, we now have back in 2018 we'd one priest per 2,500 Catholic population. Now we've one priest per 2,200 population. So we seem to be going in the right direction as far as total active priests in ministry in Ireland. And we all know that it's great to see Irish bishops promoting foreign priests coming to Ireland to really to a mission territory. We see a lot of Polish priests, we have African priests, Indian priests, we have Americans. It's fantastic to see. It gives us a whole new vision of a whole new view on spirituality. And I know many Nigerian priests, they are profoundly religious men, and they really do challenge us on how we can move forward in the faith. So it's good to see that there is this push to ensure that the ministry of the priest is protected in Ireland, which I think is great to see. As far as female religious life statistics, as per the directory, they do have that statistic from 2006 that there were 6,912 religious sisters. Then in 2018 there was 5,739, and then this year they've published 4,624. Most of these sisters are elderly at the moment. They're above 60 years old. And what we'll see in the next couple of years is a sharp decline in female religious life as that whole generation of religious sisters die off, sadly. By the year 2043 we will have less than 300 female religious in Ireland. At the rates we are going at the moment, there are practically no female religious vocations among the Irish population at the moment. There are more men joining religious orders and the priesthood than women joining female religious life in Ireland at the moment, according to the statistics that have been published. So that's just the data that we see there. How accurate are these figures that are published in the Irish Catholic Directory? How can we take them at face value? A lot. If you look at 2022, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 dioceses that haven't reported figures. However, if you just go and look at Waterford, for example, you can go to there to see the priests in the various parishes. So the figures are accurate from what I can see. It's not like that it's not like the figures are not accurate. I did see in parishes that Tuam Parish lost 100 parishes in their 100 chapels, but I suppose that was we can assume that was an error. But as regards the other figures, active priests and so forth, they're pretty accurate. If you go into the specific dioceses and look at the parishes and the people named there. So we can see there is a big trend towards other priests, towards foreign priests coming in to minister in Ireland, which is great because Irish priests and sisters have been missionary sisters for centuries, decades. We've been to Africa, we've been to Australia, South America, India and so forth. So it's fantastic, really, really fantastic to see so many men and women coming to Ireland to be missionaries in this country, to say Mass and to ensure that the sacrifice of the Mass is maintained in Ireland. So that's some of the statistics there. Dublin obviously is one of the biggest beneficiaries for this. So as we move forward, what we'll probably see is that the largest seminary in Ireland will be the Neo-Catechumenal Seminary in Dundalk, who are bringing in men from other countries to be formed in Ireland, to be ordained in Ireland, and to serve Ireland. So we will see a lot of men coming from the Neo-Catechumenal way who will be ordained in the next couple of years. Men that are currently being formed in the Redemptor's Martyr Seminary in Dundalk. So that will be very interesting to see. Catholic population in Ireland down 1%. So at the moment on the island, 66.34% of the total population is Catholic, according to the Irish Catholic Directory. Now, these are the official figures based on baptisms, I suppose, and how they're collated. What I see on the ground doesn't reflect this. If we go to any mass, if we go to mass today, we see mass attendance is heavily weighted towards the over 50s. I would have said today at mass, less than 5% of people at mass were under 30 at St. Patrick's Day Mass, 11 o'clock here in Ballinan, Mayo, in St. Murdoch's. So this is what we see on a regular basis. There is very, very low attendance for people under the age of 40, really, at Mass, and this would be borne out in the in the attendance we can see, and in the funds, because practically every parish now is complaining about lack of funds. People haven't returned to Mass, but anyway, these are the official figures. There's 4.5 million Catholics in Ireland. If every Catholic gave €1 every Sunday, €1, that's all you need to give, is €1 every Sunday. Father and children. The church would have more than enough funds to manage itself, but we're not able to get €1 per Catholic per week to support the Irish Church at the moment. That's the sad reality, because we have not engaged with Catholics for over 2 years in any practical sense as an organisation. So we see that lack of funds. But anyway, just some statistics. Ordinations over the last 5 years, we've had 17 in 2018, 12, 9, 7, 8. So if my maths is correct, we're looking at just over 53 ordinations, something like that, over the last 5 years. These are ordinations of any kind to religious life, to diocesan life in Ireland. There are other Irish men that have left Ireland to go to traditional seminaries, Institute of Christ the King, Fraternity of St. Peter. We have the Society of St. Pius X. All of those men in traditional seminaries will never be ordained in Ireland. They're all going to be ordained elsewhere and then maybe come back to Ireland. So, that's just something to note. But those traditional movements have all sent priests to Ireland, which is, great to see, and it's good to see what's happening. However, we only have per year on average one ordination per 418,000 Catholic population. In the United States of America, they have one ordination per 110,000 Catholic population. That's 4 times more ordinations than in Ireland, and they seem to be growing and being more conservative. So that's just something to be aware of as regards ordinations in Ireland. So these are some of the statistics that I've put together based on information from the Irish Catholic Directory. I do think we could do more. We could definitely promote the faith a lot more, engage people a lot more. But these are the statistics at the moment, and the church seems to think they continue to do as they did before and hoping to have the same results, and that's not going to happen, sadly. So we need to see how we can better grow the faith. Just my thoughts on it anyway. God bless, take care, and pray for us, pray for the church. Take care, bye-bye.